There is a mistake thousands of MBBS abroad students are making right now, and most of them won't even realize it until they pass the FMGE exam. They believe one simple thing, that internship is only 1 year. But for many students, that assumption is already wrong. Because somewhere between online classes, COVID years, and travel caps, the rules have changed. And the cost of not knowing those rules is not money, it's 1 extra year of your life. Today we are not talking about rumors, agents or fear. We are talking about a rule that is silently deciding whether your internship is 1 year or 2 years. Hi everybody, I am Sri Rohit. Welcome to Neo Mentora. This channel exists for one reason, to explain the parts of medical education that are never explained at the beginning. Because in medicine, exams don't end careers. Assumptions do. Before we continue, subscribing to this channel costs you nothing. But students watching silently, confused and unprepared, it keeps real experience-based guidance alive. So if you value clarity over comfort, stay with us. Let's understand what actually changed. For decades, the rule was simple. After passing FMGE or next, every foreign medical graduate did 1 year of internship in India. Then came COVID. During COVID, MBBS teaching shifted online and became fragmented. At that moment, NMC introduced a quiet but critical clarification. They said, if your MBBS involved online classes, blended learning or academic gaps, then your clinical exposure is considered incomplete. And incomplete clinical exposure means only one thing. You are required to do a 2-year compulsory rotatory medical internship, not one. 1 year to compensate for lost clinical training, 1 year as regular internship. And here's the most dangerous part. This rule is not applied uniformly. It is applied case by case, based on your university calendar and your travel dates, your attendance records, and your mode of teaching. Which means two students from the same country, same batch, even same university can end up different internship durations. And most students don't realize this until after they clear the exam. Now here's the most important part. This rule does not affect everyone equally. So let's clearly answer one question. Who is actually at risk of a 2-year internship? You fall into the high risk category if any one of this applies to you. First, if your university conducted online or hybrid classes during COVID, and those months are officially mentioned in your academic records. Second, if there is a gap between academic years, delayed exams, delayed promotions, or extended semesters. Third, if your clinical exposure does not fully match the minimum hands-on requirements defined by National Medical Commission. And fourth, if your travel history doesn't align with your university calendar, meaning you were physically outside the country while clinical teaching was supposed to happen. And here's where students get it wrong. They assume my university is recognized, so I am safe. That assumption is dangerous because NMC doesn't judge recognition alone. They judge how you studied, when you studied, and where you were during these clinical years. Which means this is not a country problem, not a university problem, it's a documentation and timeline problem. 1 year they planned for quietly turns into 2. Now comes the most uncomfortable question. If this rule exists, if NMC has clarified it, then why are students finding out so late? The answer is simple and dangerous. Because this rule doesn't hurt at the admission stage. It doesn't stop your visa. It doesn't block your degree. It doesn't affect your exam eligibility. It hits only at one place, internship allotment. And by then, you have already spent 5 to 6 years of your life. Universities don't highlight this because it reduces admissions. And students don't ask because everyone assumes internship is always 1 year. This creates a perfect awareness gap. And when that realization comes, there is no appeal, no shortcut, no adjustment. You don't argue with the rule. You serve the extra year. Not because you failed, but because you didn't know. And that is why this is not an academic issue. It's an information failure. Now let's talk about the real cost of this mistake. Because when people hear 2-year internship, they think it's just 1 extra year. It's not. That 1 additional year means 1 extra year without a full doctor's salary, 1 extra delay for PG preparation, 1 extra year of financial dependency, 1 extra year for your peers move ahead, 1 extra year added to an already long journey. For many students, That delay changes everything. Loans get extended, family pressure increases, confidence quietly drops. And the hardest part, you don't plan for something that you didn't know that it existed. This is why some FMGs feel exhausted after success. They clear FMGE, but instead of relief, they feel stuck. Not because they are weak students, but because nobody warned them about the timeline impact. This is simply how the system compensates for lost clinical exposure. And systems don't care about intentions, they care about records. So the real danger is not a 2-year rule. The real danger is discovering it when it's already too late to adjust. So what does all this actually mean for you? It means the biggest risk for MBBS abroad students today is not FMGE, not next, not even exam difficulty. It's miscalculating your timeline. Most students plan their life assuming 5.5 years of MBBS plus 1 year of internship. But for many, the real equation has already changed. So, here's the only mindset that protects you. Stop asking, will I pass the exam? Start asking, does my academic journey fully align with current NMC rules or not? Because medicine is not about intelligence. It's about compliance, documentation, and foresight. The earlier you understand the rules, the more control you have over your future. And the students who win in the long run are not the fastest, they are the most informed. This channel exists for students who don't want surprises at the finish line. We don't promise shortcuts. We don't sell fear. We decode reality early. If this video saved you even 1 year of confusion, then imagine what clarity can do when you get it before the mistake happens. I'm telling you once again, subscribing costs you nothing, but for students silently watching, planning their careers with half information, it keeps honest guidance alive. Stay aware, stay prepared, because in medical education, awareness isn't fear, it's protection. Jai Hind.